at the guys in the NFL and look at the Rams. I mean, the number of guys they got up front. And then people talk about Aaron Donald, but you also got Von Miller, you got Leonard Floyd, you got all these guys that you got to protect, and that's kind of how I see a defensive line. We have talent at every level. We have depth, guys that can come in and start, for us. And so, for me, there's no really, first team, second team, and they all first teamers in my eyes. And it's just an honor and pleasure to be able to coach them. Oh, man, Peyton Page, for me, had the most improved this spring. From where I heard that I wasn't here last year when he got here, but I heard he was almost 400 pounds. He looked like me. But, man, from the transformation he's made, coming in from last year and some of the things that I saw on tape, just areas that he needed to improve on. I mean, he really stepped up to the challenge. He came in, changed his body. I think he's lost about 40, 50 pounds. I mean, he looks like a different person. And he had a really good spring. He's a guy that's going to be a dominant nose tackle on the interior, in the inside moving forward, man. He has all the tools, very smart, very engaged in meetings. And I'm looking for a really kind of breakout year for him this year. But I would definitely say he's the most improved. Next up would be DeMonte Capehart, who's really coming to his own. He's somebody that's dealt with a lot of injuries as well. And so I've just really challenged him this spring to stay healthy, man. And he really went through the spring without really any major injuries and was able to go out there and get reps, and he got better. He's somebody else that I'm expecting big things that are going to surprise a lot of people because he has all the tools, man. Kid's 6'5", 310 pounds, 305, man. He moves well. He just learned to just, play with great pad level and execute his technique and fundamentals. He's going to be dominant as well. So those are really two young guys, man, just really excited about that are going to be, I think, a surprise to a lot of people. Not a surprise to me, but they put in the work this offseason.
Nick, you've been recruiting other schools for a few years. There's no new business to you. What was it like to come here and recruit for your school? What did that add to your recruiting?
Last year was my first year in college ball at Auburn. I was, recently with the Cincinnati Bengals in 19 and 20, and I think a lot of people, for me, just was, questioning, like, well, how are you going to be able to recruit? And, I laughed at that when some of the college coaches asked that, well, how are you going to be able to recruit? Well, I'm the one that's played in 2 Super Bowls. I played in the league for 11 years, and I'm from South Georgia, small town, so I know how to talk to people because everybody knows everybody where I'm from in Lyons. And so, like being able to have authentic conversations with people was going to be real easy for me. But just, I just try to be my authentic self, man. This place, Clemson will sell itself. Our facilities, so I just need to get the recruits here. And, Dabo will knock it out the park being who he is. He's going to talk for about 4 hours, and you'll know everything about him, the facilities, our staff, his family, and the city of Clemson, And so, and that's what make this place unique and better than any place in the country. It's the people in the building. I keep saying that, man. We have a wonderful staff, just in every department of our facility, man. And everybody here just good people. So if I can just get a recruit on campus, everybody else do their job, and man, it makes it easy for me to recruit. So it's easy. I just really take time to allow recruits and their parents to see who I am as a person. It's easy to go on the internet and you can Google and you send the places I've been, some of the things I've done, but who really is Nick Eason? And that goes down to just, talking about my past, and all of it ain't clean, good. I didn't grow up with my dad, in the house. My mom had me, she was 18 years old, lived with my grandparents, who ended up getting their GEDs, but great people, got married. My grandmother was 14, my grandfather was 17. So people want to hear those things about who am I really as a person? Who are they going to be sending their son off to be with, to be around, to be molded as a man and as a football player for the next 3 or 4 years of their lives. And so, for me, it makes it easy, So I enjoy the recruiting process. We're not going to get everybody. I'm not going to get everybody. The kids that love what we bring to the table as Clemson, will come, and the ones that don't will go other places, depending on what we're looking for. If you're looking for a faith-based program that's going to treat you like family, that's going to develop you as a man. I mean, we have Paul Journey, which is the best in the country, and then Clemson's for you. If you're trying to, chase dollars, this ain't the place for you, and I'm okay with that. NIL has really changed the game, and kids earn it, But at the end of the day, we don't lead with that. We have NIL plans here at Clemson, but we're not going to lead with that, man. We want you to love Clemson like I loved and came here for reasons of education and the facilities and the people in this building and how we can mold you as a man, and that hasn't changed. So I'm just really excited to be a part of it.
You feel like you've answered the questions about if you can recruit?
Huh?
You feel like you've answered those questions about if you can recruit?
No, I haven't answered the recruiting. Can I recruit? No. The thing about this for me is that recruiting is not a one-man job and is every day for me. And so as I continue to get the commitments coming in, I know I got to work even harder. You know what I mean? And so I try not to read the newspaper clippings, man. And I want to make sure I remain humble and stay hungry during this process, man. I think a lot of times, people that have had success in recruiting or teams that have had success in winning get real comfortable, all right, and think they don't have to, reach out to parents and talk to the coaches. But that's got to be an everyday thing, and it's got to be real too at the same time. You got to love what you're doing. But for me, yeah, I think I'm starting to answer those questions if I can recruit. For me, it's just about being authentic. Just being real, being what you are, being respectful, loving on people, being a servant to people, and that's just who I've been. That's who I've always been.
How much do you think recruits are aware of the reputation that Clemson's established over the last 7 or 8 years as kind of being DLU, all the talent that they produce and put into the league, and
Yeah.
The rankings and the defensive rankings?
Yeah, I think recruits and people are aware of the defensive tradition that's been here over the years. But my story has always been, I'll bring guys here on a recruiting visit. They'll come sit in my room. They'll see all the names. They'll see my name. They'll see the DJ Readers of the world. But those have been our stories. And for me, just because I, coach in the NFL and I play in the NFL and I've done this, that, and the third, doesn't mean that that's going to be you. If you put the work in, it can happen like that before for you. But if you don't and you're lazy, you don't love football, then it might not happen for you. So everybody has kind of created their own story. All the great players that have came through here have created their own stories by the hard work they put in. It's just not going to happen because you choose to come here. The championships that are won here at Clemson are won when nobody's watching. And that's why our guys are here in the weight room. Coach Bass and our weight room staff are just challenging our players, man, to be great. And that's what the championships have won. And I think, people just need to realize that, especially recruits, man. You watch guys play on Sunday, but they don't see the acupuncture, the chirotherapy, the massage therapy, the twice a week with the massages and all the other things that go on behind the scenes, And so those things are what win championships, And I just think that we're gonna be great. Yep, we're gonna be great.
What kind of season do you think you're gonna have for Tyler Davis this year?
Tyler? Well, I think Tyler's going to be great. He's got to stay healthy. But he's been truly a leader. I saw that at the workouts when we started mat drills. He's been awesome in the classroom, been awesome on the field, been awesome in the community. And I think he's going to have a very dominant year. I think some of the things that Wes is going to do and that I've kind of brought to the table is going to really cater to his skill set. And you'll see guys, elevate their level of play this year. That's my job to make sure I do that. I didn't recruit these guys in the room, and anytime you take on a new job, somebody's always inheriting somebody else's room. I'm inheriting Todd Bates' room, but it's still my job to make sure that I elevate the level of play of the players in the room. That's what it comes down to. Will these guys play better under Nick Eason? And that's what I'm looking forward to, and they will. I think they will, but it starts down for me when it comes to that about Tyler, man, is him trusting me and knowing who I am as a person, knowing that I care about him and I want him to be successful. And guys will play hard when they know you love them, and so that's what's most important.
I know you were very complimentary of Wes this spring and kind of his football mind.
Yep.
What's his last few months been like with him, and how have you seen him kind of continue to grow into his role as a DC?
Man, Wes is going to be great. He's been doing a really good job of taking the time to just kind of mold us as a family, as a staff. So he's had us over his house. Last night he had the defensive tackles at his house. He's had a defense over his house. He understands that this business is about relationships. And players don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. And so, guys will play hard for you once they know you care about them as people. And I think he's done a great job of that with our staff. Some of these guys have worked with him already. I haven't. But, man, he's made me feel welcome. in his home, in the building, and just him just empowering everybody in the room and taking your ideas in consideration and really implementing that within our defense as long as it makes sense. And that's what I love about him. Not every defensive coordinator is like that. You know, some defensive coordinator want it their way, and that's okay too. But Wes, I mean, he just empowers everybody on the staff, and you know, he's going to do a phenomenal job. You know, and the biggest thing with Wes, man, he's going to be willing to adjust and make adjustments each week. You know, I think people are going to have a hard time trying to figure out what we're doing, you know, every week, because he's going to be willing to adjust. He knows how to adjust within the game. You know, it could be by quarter, it could be by half. And that's what's going to set us aside and set him aside for everybody. Thank you. I had a lot of phlegm in my throat. Appreciate that. Sorry. So I think he's going to do an amazing job.
Personally, Nick, you're in the league, you coached there, you coached in Auburn. What was it like to get the offer to come here? Was it a recruitment process for you already?
You know what? It's so for me, you know, I've kind of told the story a little bit here and there. I mean, I never expected this job to kind of come open. I really didn't. You know, I was actually headed to grab some breakfast. I was, you know, actually in Alabama at the time, and the call came out of nowhere. You know, I've become a little bit more acquainted with social media, but, you know, with a little bit of Twitter here and there, but I don't really watch a lot of news. But, you know, I didn't know, you know, when Venables left, I didn't know Todd Basin left, and so Coach, you know, called me and just gave me an opportunity. It came out of nowhere. And for me, I care about the players that I coach. And so, you know, the initial conversation, I didn't really just jump on this job. You know, as a matter of fact, I told Coach Sweeney no when he initially asked me, you know, did I want the job, just because I didn't